Hey guys, it's Kelly. I am back with another challenge layout with Mari, and this week we are using embossing folders. And I just had up on the screen this piece of 8.5 by 11 Basil cardstock that I embossed with my friends Teresa Collins big embossing. I think it's a Craftwell machine. I'm not quite sure since it's not mine. I don't know for 100%. But my original plan was to use some of my embossing folders. I don't have a lot, but I do have a few that I could definitely use. But when my friend was showing me this music note embossing folder that she had, it was just perfect. I've had this picture of my son's marching band that I've wanted to, get on a page for him and his school album. And I just thought, okay, I'm not going to turn down like the perfect paper embellishment, whatever you want to call it, for this layout. So I did go through my scraps and I was able to find that royal blue piece of paper that is directly behind the photo, and I believe that is Ellie Studio. I know that the lighter blue is Ellie Studio, and the one that has the cream with the little black diamond design is by Crepe Paper Notes and Things. So I went ahead and I backed the photo in vellum. I wanted to have some different layers behind this photo, and I felt like, using the white embossed paper was a pretty big statement. My original plan was to cut it down either into strips behind the photo or maybe a banner, but when I put the 8.5 by 11 piece of paper on the 12 by 12 cardstock, I just really liked the look of it and I decided just to go with it. So I had originally pulled out some blue jelly bean letter stickers, and I remembered that I had these royal blue glitter thickers in my stash, and I had originally not pulled them because they weren't like a really dark navy blue, or they weren't exactly the colors of any of the blues that I had already pulled out. But when I saw how good they looked with the blues, I decided to go ahead and use it. They also add a touch, like the bling factor. Marching bands, tend to have some bits of bling either with, their instruments or color guard. And I just felt like it was a really neat way to pay homage to that. So I decided to go ahead and house my title on top of the photo. And then because I rarely use number thickers, I decided to go ahead and put the year below it. And I thought that would be the perfect way to actually use some of my thickers and also to balance some of that royal blue from the top down to the bottom. Now I had pulled out some different embellishments that had some blues, and in hopes that I would be able to get some of them worked onto the page in some fashion. And I really felt like between the silver pops of paper and the blue thickers that it was over, anything else seemed to be overkill. And I go through and I rummage through and find the Heidi Swap stars, and I just didn't really like that. And so I'm trying to think what else I can do, and while I'm thinking, I decided to go ahead and stick down what I knew that I liked. So when I was placing this paper, I had trimmed the edges off because the embossing folder didn't get some of the very edges of it. So instead of, at 8.5 by 11, it may have been, 8 by 10 3/4. I'm not quite sure, but I just made it to where it looked nice to my eye. And I'm going to just go ahead and get all of these layers put down, and then in a little while you'll see that I come up and I just kind of curl the edges of the papers up just to give it a little bit more dimension. I didn't want to sew on this layout just because it was more of a masculine layout, And you know, I like to try to do some things different now and then. And I didn't want to distress the edges because I didn't feel like that it matched the photo. And although I love the look of them, I like for my things to make sense. So this is pretty much it. I do have some close-ups at the end, and want to also send you to Mari's channel so you can check out her take on the embossing folders. I will have a link to her channel down below in the details part if you haven't checked hers out. And we are open to suggestions on what the next challenge, or you know, we have some ideas that we have running now, but if you'd like to see something, let us know. We're up, you know, up to any of the challenges, and we're having a blast doing this. So let's see, in the end, you will see that I added some silver stars and another paper layer under the corners, and that's it. So thanks so much, guys, for hanging out with me today, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.